In the spirit of Merdeka, we need to draw from history and geography to reimagine Malaysia. Our discourse has often been too inward-looking. In fact, the Malacca Sultanate was a great metropolitan city linked to the world by water. In Bahasa Melayu, when we speak about the nation or homeland, it is tanah air, land and sea. Water is an integral part of the imagination. No other languages give equal worth to land and water to denote the meaning of homeland. Therefore, Malaysia is a maritime nation with continental roots. We have roots linking Malaysia to the Europe-Asia continent, but at the same time, Malaysia is surrounded by water. The world's busiest waterway, the Malacca Strait, and the world's most contentious water, the South China Sea, are within our vicinity. Once we see Malaysia as tanah dan air, we'll see Sabah and Sarawak as the very integral part of the nation. They are not separated by water, but Malaysia is the entire piece of geography stretching from the Malacca Strait to the Sulu Sea, and indeed we have more water than land. Malaysia will be a great nation if we unite the land, the water, and the people, and look outward to realize our potential to contribute in various ways to the development of the region and the world. Rather than uniting our people to face the world together, we often highlight the differences among ourselves and treat them as a problem, not as an advantage. Everyone is told that he or she is a Malay, Chinese, Indian, Dayak, Kadazan, and so on and so forth. And all too often, these identities are presented and portrayed as primary identities that exist in adversarial ways. To reverse this trend and move into the future, we need young people to help us to build a civic nationalism and to see the Malaysian identity as something worth fighting for. Having different cultural heritage and ancestry does not mean that we do not share a destiny into the future as Malaysian. What the COVID-19 pandemic has taught us is that we are all vulnerable. If the weakest among us, such as the homeless, migrant workers, or prisoner, once they are infected, then the whole society is in danger. Everyone needs to learn that there's only one set of law in the society, and that applies to everyone. There cannot be dual darjat practices. COVID-19, just as Merdeka, also mean that each of us are of equal worth. Whether we are laymen or we are ministers, we should be treated equally and justly by law, and everyone has a responsibility to ensure that the entire society is not infected by the COVID-19 virus, or for that matter, the virus of corruption. Likewise, poverty is a problem that concerns all of us. Poverty goes beyond race. There are Malays who are rich, there are Malays who are poor. There are Chinese and Indians who are poor, there are Chinese and Indians who are rich. The poor needs decent jobs and decent pay. And actually, every Malaysian needs decent job, decent pay. We need good healthcare, good education, good public transport, and decent housing. The society as a whole, meaning that all of us together, needs to empathize with those among us who do not do well for whatever reason. Merdeka is ultimately freedom from dual darjat practices and poverty. Justice for all must be at the center when we discuss governance, and let empathy be the core value when we talk about Malaysians' life and livelihood. Selamat Hari Merdeka!